Hey there guys, okay, I'm going to see if I can get this video done now. I've been trying to get this done. This is kind of the evolution of my carry. Just going to briefly go through things initially. When I first started carrying, please don't hate me, yes, it was a Taurus 92. It's been a good gun though. I mean, it's not a Glock, it's not a SIG or anything like that, but it's worked. I've got over 5,000 rounds through it, which is really not all that much, but I've had little to no problems out of this gun whatsoever. It's not about the gun though. Started out with a NsrTactical, and I realized NsrTactical is not too tactical. Just not to bash this company. Good, comfortable holster, but comfort is sometimes a downfall with some things. So we evolved. Said, alright, screw it, I'm gonna go with Kydex. My gun's a tool, not a toy or whatever, and thought, well, do the hybrid thing, it looks comfortable. Well, I got tired of that. Then I got with Dave at NSR, and I don't remember which I had done first, my C5 for my Smith & Wesson Shield or the EDC for the Taurus. I believe it was the Taurus, and then I got my C5 for the Shield after. Excellent, excellent holsters. Worn the ever-living shit out of these. This one has the super cant extension on it. I know cant's not really necessary, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but for me, at the time, I was carrying such a large gun that that helped some. Both of these have been rock solid. I mean, really have. I've busted my ass with these out in the woods, ran around, wrestled with folks, playing, sort of thing, sparring. It's just been a phenomenal holster. Now my EDC has moved on again, using the same mag pouch as what I got originally with my C5. I recently purchased a glock19, and by the way, before I get into this, this is a custom K-bar TDI sheath. Unfortunately, somebody lost my TDI. I won't say who that somebody is, but awesome sheath. I just need another TDI. I think I'm going to try the horizontal next time. Everyone seems to really like that. On to the C1s. My carry evolved into a glock19, and basically my situation was this. As you notice, this one's set up left-handed. I've had a tendonitis in my right wrist for months now, since last Thanksgiving, and so I ordered a C1 for the Shield. Got to me pretty quick. That way I could carry left side, because literally, I mean, holding a plate of food was hurting this hand. And the reason I did that is because this is an ambidextrous holster. This strut and soft loop can be flipped around to either or side. So that made it a lot more comfortable for me going through what I was going through, having to carry in that fashion. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, the EDC, this big old thing, compared to this, now granted this holds its place. It's definitely a good holster. The quality is no less. Different features, but the quality is no less. Let's take a look back at the C5. Okay, let's get this gun out of here just so we can properly show these things. This one is not ambidextrous. Okay, I suppose you could make it be if you really wanted to, but it would not work as well because you have these bubbled out areas for your soft loops here. This one has a spot for 2 struts, which is nice if you want it more secure and to be able to tuck in your shirt. Basically what you do with this is you put it on your belt like you would any soft loop type holster. You pull the strut back, tuck your shirt into that, and so that the only thing you see is your soft loop. I really like this system, but it's just less features on the C1. The C5 has a lot more features to it. You can run 2 struts, 1 strut, soft loops, adjust for cant, etc. C1 is more bare bones, but the quality is no less in any way, shape, form. You hear that very, very positive retention. You can tighten down these screws here and torque it down to where it holds it just as firm or as loose as you want it. I like mine in there pretty firm, and it does a great job of holding it in there. One thing people have a misconception about is these soft loops. You know, if I snag it, is it going to come undone or something like that? No. I'm going to pull up from the bottom. Won't come undone. Now if I pull from the top the way it's intended, it comes right undone. But it's not going to go anywhere. And if your pants are remotely as tight as what they should be, the gun's not just going to flop out, and you're going to notice. I've never, ever, ever one time had one of these soft loops come undone on any of these holsters. Now I'm sure if I trained enough that would be a possibility, but I've never had it happen, and you know, I can't really speak too much on training. I have had some training, but a lot of what I have done has been practicing the little bit of training I've had. And me and my husband were doing 21-foot drills and things like that, and during that drill I was using this holster, you know, running, falling on the ground, going down to the ground. This never came undone in any way at all. So I have faith in this system, and I like it. I prefer it over the clips. Nothing wrong with clips. I like these. Now, onto the Glock. Same situation we have here, except if you note on the Shield C1, he only offers these for the glock19 and the C1. Mind you though, glock19 open bottom, it'll fit a 26 or a 17. Should. I see no reason why it wouldn't. There's 2 holes here on the Glock C1. We have an extra hole so we can move the strut a little farther down so the gun sits a little higher up in your pants, or we can move it up to where you sit a little bit deeper. I've got mine to where it sits a little bit deeper. Okay, if you look at the soft loops themselves, on all of them they're like this. I believe the positions are 1 1/4 inch, 1 1/2 inch where mine is at, and 1 3/4 inch for your belt size. You want to have that sized for your belt. Okay, that's going to make the whole system work together properly and keep it from sliding around on your pants. Now, if you look back here, you'll note there's a couple holes here, so you can actually say if you want it as high as you can get it. You know, you can get this holster sitting up pretty high. I wouldn't recommend doing, you know, getting it all the way up like that, because gun may not be as stable, but you can certainly do it, and I see no reason why you couldn't carry it like that. So even though this is a bare bones holster, $40 plus $8 shipping, so $48 shipped to your house, it has all the things you need in a holster. Okay, I got the C1 for my Glock because I want a designated appendix holster. I've been carrying this strong side simply because that's the way this time of year I'm going to really carry my glock19, but I have a C4 on the way, which is a holster kind of in between the C5 and the C1, and then I will have this designated for appendix only, and I will use the C4 for strong side. And the great thing about that is then I'll have 2 holsters, so me and my husband can go train, etc. As for the Shield, I like the fact that now I have a left-handed holster because I've become accustomed to carrying both of these guns here in the past week or so. A little over a week. I've been carrying both. This one strong side about 4 o'clock on my right hip. This one appendix about 11:30, 12 o'clock left-handed as a backup. And I really cannot say enough good things about these two holsters. Hell, if you look at the inside of this holster, it actually says the made in Austria, Glock19, Smyrna, Georgia. Like, that's how well it's molded. You can read where that came off the blue or orange gun, the dummy gun that he used to make this mold with. Another thing to note, you have a nice large sight channel right here for your front sight. Very important if you want to be able to do sight upgrades later down the road. Same thing with the Smith & Wesson Shield. Nice big channel for that sight. Very important. One thing to note on the Shield, it covers up the safety. On mine, I don't use the safety. I've never used a safety on any of my guns, but it keeps it covered, keeps it from accidentally getting kicked on. It's a very firm safety though, but inside that holster, as long as I didn't kick that safety on, it's not going to get kicked on. It's a good thing to have. Both protect the trigger guard, or protect the trigger extremely well, and yeah, they're comfortable, very comfortable. I've done 2 or 3 days of cardio, 30 minutes each, ran a couple miles with both of these on, wearing, you know, basically normal clothes, just wearing shorts. And what I will tell you is that these are comfortable enough for me to do a couple miles wearing both guns. That's how comfortable they are. I don't intend to work out with both my guns like that normally, but I would probably just carry my Shield normally, but I wanted to see how comfortable these really were, and it surprised me. I'm also carrying a much lighter gun than the Taurus 92. It's about a 11-ounce lighter gun with only 1 less round in capacity, or I'm sorry, 2 less rounds capacity, but regardless, carrying 2 guns, you can't go wrong with a C1. Buy one, check out NsrTactical.com. Again, this is the EDC mag pouch. I strongly recommend this one. He also has the C mag, which is basically identical to this, except there's no position here for a soft loop. It's just these holes here along the side, so you have your strut, and you can flip it to either side, left or right-handed. Yeah, but that's about all I know to say on that, guys. I'm going to review a bunch of stuff more as we go, but C1, if you have a glock19, 26, 17, or a Shield, buy one of these. You will not go wrong with it. Y'all have a good one.